The Athy name first showed up in medieval Europe with Gérard de Athy, a 13th century military commander whose rapid rise in the English court stirred resentment among the barons. That resentment eventually led to his lands being taken and his name appearing in the Magna Carta. Over time, the Athy name found its way to Ireland, and the way the name is said has changed. The Athys were one of the Norman 14 tribes of Galway, and helped build modern-day Galway as we know it today. Figures like Walter Athy of Galway reflect a family that wasn't just passing through, but became part of the rebellion against the English. By the time John de Athy served as sheriff of County Kerry, the Athys were established in Irish life, trusted with real authority. This is our great-grandmother, Lola Athy Wilson. She chose to pronounce her last name in yet another way, and she is our closest connection to the Athy name. Until this year, I knew almost nothing about her or this part of our history until my mom shared a genealogy book with me and introduced me to these roots and to the reason we're in Ireland. Our journey begins slightly jet-lagged in Tralee, a town founded by Anglo-Normans in the 13th century. The small town is vibrant and energetic, and they clearly don't care which way your car is pointed when parking around here. We're staying at the Grand Hotel, which has a nice bar and restaurant, friendly staff. First Guinness in Ireland. And Ireland being this far north gives us just enough time to get out and explore after a late lunch. So to Dingle we go. And our first stop is Minard Castle. Then we went to find another castle that's in a lady's backyard. Luckily, she doesn't mind tourists stopping by, and after paying her a small fee, we were able to go and explore. The ring fort here was built in the 7th or the 8th century AD. Local tradition claims this piece of land was the last in Ireland held by the Vikings, as it was easily defended. The Tower House was built in the 15th or the 16th century, and is it crazy to anyone else that this is in someone's backyard? Our first full day in Ireland starts just before lunchtime with great food and coffee at the fishery. After that, we meet our ride for the afternoon. This is Sally O'Brien, our horse who's going to pull us through the beautiful countryside of Killarney National Park at Muckross House. The house was built in 1839 and later presented to the Irish nation in 1932, becoming part of the first national park in the Irish Free State. It has 65 rooms and sits within beautifully kept gardens on an 11,000-acre estate. Nearby, Muckross Abbey dates back to the 1400s. Originally a Franciscan friary, it has survived centuries of change and a little violence along the way, having been repaired multiple times from damage from raids. Seeing this stunning waterfall after a short hike across the road from Muckross Estate really sold me on all that beauty people have always told me about Ireland. My brother, always with a hunter's eye, spotted these red deer as we left the waterfall.
Hey, quit licking your butt. Yeah, you. He's like, holy shit, what was that?
The Gap of Dunloe, just west of Killarney, is a must-see. A storybook green valley with a river running right through it. But we found the locals to be a little judgmental.
Come here, is she? Not gonna do it? Come here. No?
He said no.
He said no.
The road through the valley is a very narrow single-lane affair, with a mountain on one side and water on the other. And if you're the smaller car, or closest to a turnout, you must give way. We had to drive backwards all the way to Killarney. Speaking of Killarney, it looks like a great place to stay and is perfectly located near many things to see. And it was beautiful to see this city at Blue Hour. Once back in Tralee, we went out to see what the nightlife is about, and the pub was so packed I couldn't even walk through it. The Irish take their nightlife seriously. At every hotel in Ireland, the breakfast was basically the same and features bacon rashers, sausages, fried eggs. We went poached, grilled tomatoes, sauteed mushrooms, baked beans, Irish soda or brown bread, and black or white pudding, and sometimes served with potatoes. Oh, and that black or white pudding is not really pudding. It's just a clever way to add another type of sausage to your breakfast. Next up, the Ring of Kerry. And since we really didn't have the opportunity to see the whole Dingle Peninsula, we were in luck because there it is. While exploring the fields, we saw these huge rabbits everywhere. Apparently they're a huge problem around graveyards because they tunnel into tombs, causing stress for living relatives as bodies have been exposed. Standing beautifully near the water's edge is Ballycarbery Castle, built sometime in the 15th century and a great place to fly the drone. Nearby is the Carrigal Ring Fort, one of the 3 castles nearby built between 550 and 900 AD, serving as defensive homesteads for farmers. It's fun to be able to explore this site, walking up its stone step walls. But looking back, I probably should not be doing this while looking down at a camera. It's so pretty out here, and speaking of cameras, these guys came to see which camera I was using. Seeing it's an Nikon, they went back to eating. I can't tell if that means they approved or maybe they're Sony alpacas. Once again, we didn't make it all the way around the Ring of Kerry before dark, but making it to the Kerry Cliffs to end our day was a wise choice. As epic a view as one can get. We left Tralee and dropped our luggage off at the hotel in Thurles so we could get on the road to see Jerpoint Abbey, a beautifully kept 12th century medieval Cistercian abbey, renowned for its detailed stone sculptures and Mensa tombs, with exquisite incised depictions of 2 13th century knights. One thing we're realizing quickly is that time gets away from us here. If it appears to us to be around noon, it's probably about 5 or 6 p.m. So when we arrived in Kilkenny, the castle had just closed its doors. But spending time in beautiful St. Mary's Cathedral more than made up for it. Another attempt. Split the G. I'm gonna do it. Eventually.
Oh, I think you got it. You got it. You split the G. Look at that.
It's pretty good.
You split the G.
I split it.
See the G?
You do it.
You did. Oh my God.
Look at that, dude. First time.
Hear that? That's pretty amazing, dude. It's because he's been watching me, so he knows how many.
Oh yeah, I counted them.
Mom crushed the split the G on the mini cup. That's pretty amazing. Look, the mini cup. She crushed it. Mine's passed, so don't judge that one. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. High five.
Given our problem with time, we're hauling ass to get to the Middleton Distillery this morning. Known for Jameson and Redbreast Irish whiskies, the building and the grounds are beautiful and the tour is super informative and worth it for the whiskey lovers out there. Of course, the tastings were the highlight for us, as was taking home a bottle of Redbreast 15 year. We ended the visit with another tasting because why not? And I can't tell if it's the whiskey, but it appears there's some guy playing bagpipes in a beautiful setting, perfectly centered in front of a castle. This tells me I'm definitely seeing things because we're at the Blarney Castle, known for the big stone that gets more action than anyone. The garden here is one of the most beautiful I've seen. Poor Sean got locked up for that time earlier he drove on the wrong side of the road, but since we're Americans, they let him go with a warning. Speaking of drinking, it's a good thing we only had tasters at the distillery because navigating these narrow stone spiral stairways could be a problem if you've had one too many. We waited in line for about a half hour to have the opportunity to get sloppy seconds with a rock, so I truly hope it's good luck. Kinsale was our final stop of the day, so I set out in search of their famous mead and had what Sean and I thought was our best meal of the trip at the White Lady restaurant. Today we woke up a little earlier than usual and headed out to the Rock of Cashel. You can spot it from miles away rising up out of the limestone, and the closer we got, the more impressive it became. Unlike some of the other places we've seen, so much of it is still standing and it really feels alive. We didn't have time to enter the cathedral, but it's a goal for the next time I'm here. Just down the trail is Hoare Abbey as well, so there's so much to see. This is a must stop if you're in Ireland. Something about seeing castles and ruins makes us want to drink for some reason, so here we are at yet another distillery. Except this one is the oldest in the world, established in 1757 and still a working distillery today. grabbed some lunch to power up before hitting the road to Dublin, but on the way, we stopped at Rock of Dunamace. We almost had this beautiful site to ourselves. And this site has significance to our family history. In the 12th century, Ireland was made up of 4 different provinces, each ruled by a different king. There was drama among them and infighting, to the point one king, MacMorrough, kidnapped the wife of another king, O'Rourke, and brought her here. The High King of Ireland deposed MacMorrough, and he fled the country to seek help in getting his kingdom back. He enlisted the help of a Norman nobleman named Richard de Clare, also known as Strongbow, and this set in motion the Norman invasion of Ireland.
It's green for as far as you can see. This is the most gorgeous countryside I think I've ever seen. It's amazing. And the fact that places like this are in that person's front yard, basically, if you can see that house down there, it's not something that we're used to in America, because we don't have anything this old that hasn't just fell back into the earth or been destroyed. So this has been mind-blowing. What an amazing, just a realization of things that I've never known before.
When one thinks Dublin, it's hard not to think of Guinness. It's crucial to Dublin, shaping its economy, architecture, and social fabric. The storehouse is absolutely impressive, featuring 7 floors surrounding a glass atrium shaped in the form of a pint of Guinness. The ground floor introduces the beer's 4 ingredients: water, barley, hops, and yeast. As well as the brewery's founder, Arthur Guinness. Other floors feature the history of Guinness advertising. And at the very top, you'll find the Gravity Bar, where you can enjoy a pint with amazing views of Dublin. Hey, buddy, you want to give me a ride? Oh, we're taking the other one. This guy's slow. Whoa, wait a second. This horse is hauling ass. The horse took us to St. Patrick's Cathedral, but even the fastest horse in Dublin couldn't get us there on time. So just like many other days, we were too late and it was closed. So now it's time for some Dublin nightlife. And I know it's touristy, but we went to the Temple Bar anyway, and I'm glad we did. My mom took us to Celtic Nights so we could have a little bit of Irish culture. I had a special surprise for Sean on this trip. He had no idea we were heading to Athlone to go to Sean's Bar, said to be the oldest bar in Ireland, if not the world, at 900 AD.
In Sean's Bar. We're in Sean's Bar. This is your bar. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
They've got their certificate from the Guinness Book of World Records on the wall, and even part of the old wall uncovered during excavation. We made it to Donegal, fitting as we lived on Donegal Avenue growing up. Hey, there's a castle, so time to drink whiskey again. This whole castle ruin thing must be a crazy Irish drinking game.
Red Breast 12. Not bad.
This is Classiebawn Castle. Absolutely stunning, super peaceful, and a wildly unhinged history. This was the summer spot of Lord Mountbatten, a highly visible symbol of the British establishment, royalty, military, and empire, until the Irish Republican Army blew up his boat just offshore in 1979. The twist is, the meat baron, Hugh Tunney, had been invited on that fishing trip and said no, later claiming he was at home saying the rosary instead. And after Mountbatten's death, the castle suddenly became available and Tunney stepped in and took it over. So yeah, gorgeous views, sea air, and one of the most Irish plot twists imaginable, as after Mountbatten's assassination, Tunney's acquisition and control of Classiebawn Castle was widely interpreted locally as the castle becoming politically safer in Irish hands.
Walk into the Slieve League Cliffs because we thought the gate was locked. Walked all the way up here, turned around and saw people driving. Driving up, there was just a strap on the gate. We're idiots. But I'm getting exercise, so it's nice. I just don't know how much further I have to walk. Look at this. Oh look, there's sheep on the road.
What's up, buddy? You hungry? I can tell you guys all seem to be related.
Look at that. We just met an old man in Muckross, and we're looking for the Highland cows, so Sean can take a photo of one for Zippy because she loves these cows. And we just pulled over and showed this old guy, older man, this postcard, and he says, my granddaughter owns 13 owns 13 of them, and he's going to take us to where they are. So here he goes. How cool is this?
Oh, this is so cool.
What a nice guy.
This nice Irish gentleman's name is Olney, and if I remember right, he was around 90 years old, but didn't have issue with taking time out of his day to show some complete strangers around the countryside some cool cows. He represents what we widely found consistent through the Republic, that the Irish are among the friendliest people you'll ever meet. I just thought of something. In that postcard, there's clearly some ruins near this land. You know what that means. Time for some more drinking at yet another distillery. Our guide was an expert on all things whiskey, as well as rock and roll. Next, it was off to Dunloe Church to cleanse us of our sins from too much drink. Luckily, those were just tasters though, as one should never drone after too much drink, or that drone could end up here. This place was a little trickier to find, but after some light rappelling and Sean slipping on some rocks, we made it down to Crowhey Head. Good thing Mom didn't join us on this hike, as she'd still be there today. The Guibara Bay, just south of Dunloe, is a tidal inlet where the river meets the sea, and these tides, swinging in and out, create some amazing textures in the sand, and you'd never know they were there unless you looked at them from above. Today we set off for Northern Ireland, and you'll know you're there because the buildings suddenly lose character and everything and everyone becomes very British. It's got some great sights though, starting with the dark hedges. Sean and I made the hike down to Giant's Causeway. Only for the gods to send so much wind it was hard to even look at. Wind or not, these castle grounds were closed so the drone helped us get a better look. The castle was first built in the 13th century and takes the award for the most beautiful location for a castle in Ireland. There's a giant sea cave underneath, but it was closed, so no way for us to see it. On returning to the Republic of Ireland, there's no sign indicating you've crossed over.
Welcome to Moss. It didn't say anything about.
But there is a sign that clearly shows one business owner has a sense of humor. The drive back to Dunloe was through the foresty part of Ireland, so super pretty. And we hightailed it out of UK rule and back to the Republic to Athenry, where we'll explore the main reason for our visit. We'll retrace some of our family roots, and we'll do this first at Rinville, just south of Galway.
It's house shaped, and you can see windows, and you can see the front part where the doorway was, which is right there. There's a doorway, there's a window, another window there, and another window there. That's the doorway right there. This was the mansion that our family lived in back in the day. Wow. Look at that. This is so cool. Doesn't look like I'm pulling out the drone unless I get really lucky or I'm really ballsy. Might have to try and see if I can be both of those things.
This castle was owned by Edmund Athy in the early 18th century and remained in the Athy family until the middle 20th century. During this time, the castle was used as a residence, a farm, and a school, but it has a rich and turbulent history, having changed hands many times over the centuries. The castle dates back to the 16th century. In 1574, the castle was attacked by Sir Edward Fitton, the president of Connacht, who was trying to enforce Queen Elizabeth's rule over the region. But he failed, so out of spite, he burned the surrounding land and crops. What a jerk.
It's a wee bit windy. Perfect weather for the drone, eh? Yeah.
Our hotel in Athenry was quaint and comfortable, but as we arrived, we heard quite a commotion somewhere nearby. Upon further inspection, we discovered a youth hurling game going on, and it was quite entertaining to watch and cheer on with the locals. We were tired after long days of exploring, so we retired to our room to play our nightly game of cards. If anything is true, it's that all ways of passage in Ireland are way too narrow. You could not drive a Ford truck in this land. Just trying to navigate the parking garage in Galway was a white-knuckle experience. It's extremely difficult to find real information of a time when no records were kept. But it is said the Athys had a tower house castle in downtown Galway directly across Lombard Street from St. Nicholas Church, which is now a car park. Having studied old maps, it appears this wall may be one of the last remaining pieces of what may have been our family's property here. So we came to have a look. To get a better perspective of the property, I sent the drone up and learned that it was a very, very bad idea. Galway seagulls are surly beasts, and this one tried to poop on my drone.
They are pissed.
Seagulls do not like drones in Galway. This is the territorial seagulls. Seagulls are like, nope.
We took cover in St. Nicholas Church to rid ourselves of seagull issues and some peace and quiet from all the yelling, only to find that some of the very things we came looking for are in places we weren't even aware of. Some of our relatives are buried in this church. This stained glass was donated from members of our family. So thank you, seagulls. You helped us uncover family information we may not have known otherwise. Maybe all that yelling was them saying, "Go to the church, go to the church." Our family crest can be seen flying over the city center. Back in Athenry, we checked out this beautiful old monastery, and reflecting on the beauty of this old architecture, the melancholy started setting in. As I knew our trip was days from ending. So it was time to drown our sorrows at one of our favorite Irish pubs. Today is our last full day in Ireland, and we heard our crest was hanging in this castle. But it was closed, so we went and got some chocolate instead. Then we checked out Powell na Brone Dolmen. Built as a portal tomb, there were 33 bodies buried here, some of which date back to 4,200 years before Christ. We attempted to check out the cliffs of Moher, but the gods just weren't having it again. Our trip came to an end with a feast fit for royalty, as we experienced medieval Irish lifestyle at the Blarney Castle banquet. Thomas de Clare, a descendant of Strongbow that I mentioned earlier, built a castle on this site, and this current structure dates back to 1450. Never in my life has a trip centered around so much historical significance. It's so much that making this video was extremely difficult. Do I tell the story of our experiences, or do I tell the story of experiences that occurred in these centuries-old locations? The importance, though, is our children knowing that a big part of their history resides here. And hopefully this trip video is a source for them to draw from as they make their own history and discoveries of their past. Sean and I are so thankful for our mother's generous gift of a trip to learn about our family history. It was both unexpected and truly eye-opening. We've traveled to 11 cities and over 40 locations across Ireland, and we're thankful for the sights we saw, the information we gathered, and the new friends we met. And I can't wait to return when my boy turns 18. Then we can visit some ruins or a castle, and of course, then maybe a pub or three. So thank you, Mom, from the bottom of our hearts. And I'll close this out with some photos from our trip.